Here's Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hi, Johnny.
Thank you so much for hanging on there, Jason. I appreciate it. Good as gold, Jason. This is you shook the hand. You shook the hand of, or it can be more direct as we're drifting on. Jason, what have you got?
Well, Danny, actually, I didn't shake the hand of.
Oh,
but
this
going
is
back
great.
to your Lindsay story of the Princess Royal,
Yeah.
It's a Princess Royal story.
Okay, Princess Royal story. Next week we'll examine her fuller as well. I think. Let me write
And
that down.
shaking hands,
Princess.
of course, as well.
Shaking hands with the Princess Royal. Now you didn't. I like the way this is shaping up. What happened?
Well, I was in command of 248 Gurkha Signal Squadron on its reformation in 2004.
Oh, they all say that. What? You what?
Well,
You
as it
what?
turned out I was.
Well, I'm genuinely going to
we were
salute you. Well
reforming
done.
this squadron into the Army's Orbat, and for such an occasion, the whole regiment of Queen's Gurkha Signals was on parade
Yeah.
for the Princess Royal, who's our Colonel-in-Chief.
All right.
Now, for such an occasion, you can't do that without several dress rehearsals. So we had about 7 rehearsals, including one in a wood, I seem to remember, and then a full-blown dress rehearsal on the square at the barracks at Bramcote.
Yeah.
It was during this dress rehearsal that commanding officer's mum, who was the acting Princess Royal for the day, caught me out. As her party approached my group that I was head host for, my simple job was to introduce the Princess Royal to everyone in a number of groups. I think it was about 10 of them, so about 100 people.
Yeah.
The CEO's mum came forward. My hand shot out in anticipation to shake her hand.
Yeah.
And it was at this point that she said, "You never offer your hand for shaking to the Princess Royal."
Oh, I like
Have
Anne.
to wait till it's offered to
No,
you.
I like Princess Anne because she's like one of the aunts in the Bertie Wooster stories. She's absolutely terrifying, and I think that, she'd be a really good, terrifying aunt. And I like her aloofness, and I like her bluntness a lot. But that... the phrase "oh, get over yourself," I don't suppose that wasn't an option, really, was it? Yeah.
I agree with you, but
Yeah.
this was just the CEO's mum. I mean, come on. Anyway, I felt slightly embarrassed about that.
You
so,
shouldn't do. You shouldn't do. I mean, really, you shouldn't do. You got. I think a roll of the eyes and go on. Put your hand out first, then do a little of that. What did you actually do, Jason?
Well, I felt slightly embarrassed, but I logged that lesson into the back of my head and thought, thank God I only made this mistake during rehearsal.
Yeah.
The next day was the parade, of course, so that's fine. So next day, loads of plainclothes policemen, soldiers scuttling around doing security stuff. We all got dressed in our finery, got on parade, had a magnificent display of drill at 160 paces a minute, which is quite quick.
Yeah.
And eventually we ended up having had our photographs taken in the marquee with 100 people that I have to introduce to the Princess Royal. Now, at this point, I remembered the lesson from the day before. So thinking, right, whatever happens,
Yeah.
I mustn't get caught out touching the royal skin.
No, of course
So
not.
I firmly clasped my hands behind my back. The princess approached, and I firmly squeezed my hands firmly behind my back again.
Of course you would.
The princess put out her hand.
It's
I thought, there is no way I'm off to the tower. The princess is clearly trying to trap me.
Oh,
I stood with my hands firmly clasped. The Princess Royal looked puzzled, then slightly embarrassed. Then she withdrew her hand.
You left her
I
hanging.
had clearly passed my
Well
test.
done. No, well done. No, that was it. If you'd have put your hand out, she'd have put her thumb up to her nose and waggled her fingers, and then where would you have been?
Well, indeed.
well,
but
so-
it's worse than that, Danny. It's
No,
worse.
go on.
Because then I proceed to introduce 100 people to the Princess Royal who all shake her hand.
And so
You've snubbed her.
yeah.
I had snubbed the Princess Royal.
I don't want to be impertinent. I don't want to be disrespectful. But looking at the sort of men she goes for, I think she rather like that. I like him. Well, I know. Did you have a look? You made the record show. I like him. Rugby players and all that. It runs in the family. I like him. When he wanted to shake my hand, I wouldn't his. When I wanted to shake his hand, he wouldn't mine. That's the beginning of a rom-com.
Yeah, he's a bad lad.
They met cute. That's a great story. Thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that fella is not too far away from becoming, King of England.